Middle of the Pack podcast.
Like I love running so much. It's mentally for me, like you could be having the worst day ever, and if you go out for a run, you just feel so much better in yourself. And I always think you'll never regret going for a run. Do you know what I mean? You might regret not going for a run, but you'll never regret actually going for a run.
Welcome to episode 54 of the Middle of the Pack podcast, and that's this week's guest, Maeve O'Hagan. What a great chat we had, a bit of a laugh, but we had a great chat talking about her running journey, talking about life with her club and the various races that she's taken part in over her running career, shall we call it. Just a little side note, keep an eye on the social media posts. We have some big news coming on the Middle of the Pack podcast. Some gear, some new gear arriving, possibly even setting up a little shop that you could buy them if you want to support the podcast. So just keep an eye on my social media, where you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at the Middle of the Pack podcast. So as I said, keep an eye for that. But we will start this week's episode with Maeve O'Hagan. And as always on this podcast, I asked her about how she started running. This is episode 54 of the Middle of the Pack podcast with Maeve O'Hagan.
So as cliche as it sounds, I started running during COVID. So basically I got a new job. I'm a nurse and I have a daughter as well. So she was kind of getting a bit older. So I got a new job. I got an 8 to 5 job, which was amazing. So I work very close to the marina. So I started going down there after work. I'd start, stop. And before I knew it, I was kind of doing, I'm after doing 2 kilometres. I'm after doing 3 kilometres. And as you know, my brother Rory is really into running as well. So I was there with him one day and I was like, I just can't reach the 5k yet. And he was like, come on, put on your runners, come out the door. So we literally left his house in Watergrass Hill and we did a loop and we did 5k. And it was a really slow 5k, but we did it and it was amazing. It was run in the dark. It was virtual at that stage, I'd say, or something like that. And yeah, so Rory really got me into it a lot. So after that, then I started doing park runs. And as you know, park runs are just the best thing ever, really, aren't they? They're so fantastic. And then I started noticing my times kind of improving in my park runs. I'm like, got a PB. God, like you'd be delighted with yourself. Like, I'm after getting 31, 32 minutes there. So text Rory again and Rory's like, you have to join the club now. So like I was kind of reluctant because I was like, joining a running club. I was like, I can barely run. Like I was probably up to about 6k at that stage. And he was like, well, that's how you improve. And I went out on Tuesday night with them and I met Dennis Cronin. And sure, Dennis took me under his wing. Like he was brilliant. Like he literally was like, I'm going to run with you now. It doesn't matter how slow you are. It doesn't matter how fast the rest of them are going. I'm just going to run with you and we'll do 2 loops. And that was the first time I did 4 miles and I was delighted. So it kind of spiraled then from there and I was going every Tuesday. Then I started going myself a lot more as well. So I was getting up to running a good bit. So I set a goal then of doing a half marathon, the Cork City half. And I was really like running. This was my goal. This is what I wanted to do. So I'd go down to the marina after work and, it was lovely. Like, and then I got to my half marathon goal. And then I was like, I can maybe do a marathon here. So yeah, it was great. But it's support. Support is so important. So like Rory obviously was fantastic support to me. So anytime I'd even do a minute faster than I did before, I text him and he'd be like, that's fantastic, that's brilliant, you love the praise. Like as runners, we love the praise. And I was going out with the club and it was fantastic, really, like,
and so, just for the listeners, like Rory O'Hagan we're talking about here now, not a random Rory. Previous guest on our show as well. But
so like even Rory was the first person I rang when I did Dublin Marathon. Dublin Marathon was so special to me because I did it without stopping. And I literally rang Rory when I was getting my medal, you know what I mean? Just so he could see me getting the medal. I was video calling him at the same time, because he was a huge support to me and said, you can do this, you can do this. And I think that really got me over the line a lot,
So tell me, you went from Cork, you went to the Cork half marathon.
Yeah.
What year?
So then that was 2023. And I'd been running about, I suppose, a year or two, but I never got up to a half. I actually remember Rory doing Mallow 10 mile, I think the year before or something. And I remember going, wow, 10 mile. I can't believe he's doing a 10 mile race. This is amazing. I was like, I'd love to be able to do that. So I set my goal that I'd do like the half, and I got the half, and I did it without stopping, delighted with myself. So I said, you know what now? I've a year to train for a full marathon. So I got onto Aoife Cook for a plan.
Yeah.
So I did that with her. So that was like December, January. So I really put 100% into it. But look, it didn't go so well, but that's life. So the first time I did it, I was kind of feeling sick coming up to it. I think when we're training so hard all the time, and we stop training, when we go into taper mode, sometimes our immune system kind of
Yeah.
goes down. So I got a bit fluey and I wasn't feeling great. And I was like, I have to do it. I have to do it still. So I got to 10 miles by Blackrock Castle, and I was like, oh no, I think I'm after losing it here. So I just said, look, I'm going to have to walk a bit. So it's kind of walking, stopping. And I think Rory was getting worried about me then. So he ran down to me like by the straight road, and I finished it, and I was very proud of myself. And I was like, I'm never doing a marathon again. But then
So
after a while, I had,
that was the Cork
sorry,
Marathon.
that was the Cork City Marathon, yeah.
Okay.
So then I did, and then I had to tick for Belfast, and I was like, or for Dublin, and for that following September. And I was like, look, I've all my training done. I have my plan, so I could just use the plan that Aoife gave me. I was like, I'm not going to put as much pressure on myself. I'm going to enjoy myself. Like, like it was my birthday in September. I was like, I'm going to still have a few drinks.
Yeah.
I was going on holidays in August. I'm still going to go on my holidays. I'm still going to have a glass of wine or two. And I was like, I'm not going to put myself under as much pressure. And I found myself more relaxed. And when I'm relaxed more, I went into the marathon going, oh, great, if I can do it, I can do it. If I can run the whole thing, great. But if not, I have to walk, whatever, it's fine. And I did it, and I did it without stopping. And I was so proud of myself. It's actually, Alwyn Reedy, her?
Mm-hmm.
She does, yeah. So it was her. She gave me great advice. She was like, don't stop running. She was like, whatever you do, just don't stop running, and you'll be able to do the whole thing. She's like, you're going to feel like stopping. And then she was like, just don't stop running. It's great advice. Like,
Yeah. And when
so
when was that?
that was 2024.
Okay.
So then I went on to do Belfast Marathon in 2025.
Brilliant.
Um, so yeah, and then I just did Edinburgh just gone as well.
Marathon
Which,
as well.
yeah. So I've done 4 marathons now. So it's pretty great, like for someone that's only started running a few years ago, I think.
No, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and you're not doing Dublin this year or anything like that.
I'm not doing Dublin this year now. I just felt Edinburgh, like my training for Edinburgh went really, really well. And to be honest, I found the marathon quite tough. It was a really, really, really hot day. So I had trained really hard. Like I literally put my heart and soul into it. I was so fit. I was like doing like 35k runs, and I was fine, and I was perfectly on pace. But as you know yourself, on the day, so it was really hot. It was like the heat at the moment here. So I was 10 miles in, there was no shade. And like at the start of Edinburgh, you go through the city. So like and say in Belfast, you go through the city at the end of the marathon. So like I couldn't even take in the city because you'd be kind of nervous at the start and stuff.
Yeah.
So we went out, you kind of go out in Edinburgh, you go out the water, and you kind of come back in. So I met my partner. He's a runner as well, so he said he'd meet me in specific spots. So I met him at 10 miles, and he just looked at me and he was like, "Oh no." And I was like, and I was starting to cry. I was like, oh no, I'm after losing it now. And I worked so hard. And he was like, you haven't lost it. You just need to finish it now. He's like, forget about your time and just finish it. And that's what I did. And I was delighted then at the end. But that's just the way, like, I feel that's the way it goes. Some days, like Belfast was amazing. I did a super time. It was fantastic. The atmosphere, everything. And then Edinburgh, I was felt fitter, but it didn't go as well as Belfast. That's just kind of how it goes, isn't it?
But I think like if you're saying the weather was hot, the weather has a
Yeah.
huge amount to do with it. Even for me
Huge.
this year, I felt stronger than I'd ever been, and I was going into the Cork half marathon going hunky dory's here. I'm going to do a
Yeah.
PB. I found Cork half marathon was really tough this year. It was
Yeah.
just heavy and humid, and
Yeah.
you just got to pull back the
Yeah.
pace. And we're never
Yeah.
going to win any medals. We're not podium, so
I think
just keep
that as well.
going.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something I really think I do, is that I don't worry about my time so much, that I just enjoy it. Like, like today I did a 2:10, and like I'm in Nina in February because the weather was much colder. I got a sub two, that was a huge milestone for me.
For a
So
half an
like
hour talking.
yeah, for a half, yeah. Not a full no, not there, just yet.
Because
um so yeah, so like, that, but that wouldn't bother me then. I'd be saying, today was really hot. That's, I wanted to just do it today and meet everybody. It's so social, as you know, like it's such a lovely atmosphere. And, seeing Graham smiling at you at the end is, you're finished then.
yeah, yeah. But
You
I
know?
think I don't want to say, I don't want to be patronizing and saying it's at our level. The so like even in the Eagle Club that I'm member of, there's people at all speeds and all paces.
Yeah.
When you talk about Dennis just going, "I'll run with you," when you finish, nobody really talks about times. It's all about going for the sandwich or the
Yeah.
picnic or the going in
Yeah.
for, and that's what it's all about,
Brilliant. Yeah.
really, isn't it?
And it's like, no, yeah, and it's great because sometimes, like, I find anyway, I'd always go, "Oh, how'd you get on?" I'd never be like, "Oh, what was your time?" It's like, "How'd you get on?" And I loved it, or I didn't love it, or it's great. Like, this just runners are fabulous at bigging each other up, I think.
Yeah. No, they definitely are, and I think like I was chatting to someone at a BHAA race last week, and they were talking about joining the club, but they were
Mm.
almost saying they were intimidated by it, and will
Yeah.
they be expected to do more, and will they have to do this and have to do that? And I was going, no,
No.
it's not like that at
No.
all. In fact,
It's
there's
just a friendly bunch of people.
yeah, and it's almost less. There's less obligation to race, and there's less obligation to do to that because everybody just wants to see you doing well and just enjoying
Yeah.
yourself. Really,
Yeah.
I assume
Yeah.
your club is the same.
Absolutely. It's fantastic. Even like Joanne now would be one of the girls in the club. She's real elite. Like, she's her times are phenomenal. Like, but like at the end of a race, she'd always come up to you and be like, "How'd you get on?" Like, she'd be so excited for you. Or, like, I'd be coming in at like a half an hour after her, like in a half, and she'd be like, "How did you get on?" Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's such a lovely club. And like, everybody is like so bigging up each other. And like, even when we meet for speed sessions on a Wednesday night, and it's so much fun that we forget we're nearly running. And
yeah,
we always bring cakes to people's birthdays, and it doesn't matter how slow you are, how fast you are, everybody's inclusive. There's nothing, do you know what I mean? So I think people need to remember that when they want to join a club, that it's all different levels, and it brings you on so much because you're meeting other runners in the same level as you, the same league as you. And you get tips along the way as well, which is fantastic. Or you
yeah,
might get someone who's a little bit faster than you that will run with you, and you'll find yourself coming on loads,
yeah,
kind of things. So I think joining club is probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. Like, my friends, everything. Like, we go to Malaga. We've been to Malaga the last 2 years now. I'm sure for a half marathon. It's fantastic fun, and you know, it's like work hard, play hard. It's
yeah.
brilliant.
And that's the thing because like well, as like I've said before, none of us are in it to be on the podium because we're not going to be at that level. But you do see
Yeah,
yourself improve naturally because you're
yeah,
running with people that are slightly faster and they're not
yeah,
pushing you, but just by
yeah,
going to speed sessions and all and track
yeah.
sessions and whatever, you just end up,
They're brilliant.
yeah, yeah, it's great. And like, even from the point of view of like you did y'all today. I keep getting to say it on y'all. And I'm sure afterwards there must have been just as much chat and much gathering inter-club
Yeah.
relationships and
Oh yeah, it's so lovely, like, and it's even at the start, everyone's like, "How are you feeling?" And everyone gets a little bit nervous before a race, but when you see your kind of like, I met one of the girls, Rachel, at the start line, and I was like, "God, I'm a bit nervous," and she's like, we'd be grand," and I was like, "Yeah, actually, you're right, we'd be grand," you
I
know?
know. We're not racing it to win it, but we're all still nervous and edgy. It's funny.
Yeah,
It's
it's like
ridiculous,
once I
really.
survive,
And
you
tell me
know.
about like when you were doing the marathon and fueling and things. What first of all, what kind of time were you at? And then how did you
Um,
fuel for that time on the run, if you know what I mean?
so yeah, so basically, I used to run. So if I was doing a long run, I'd start at Watergrass Hill, and I'd go from Watergrass Hill to the marina and do a loop of the marina, and it's 35 kilometers. which is huge. But
Yeah.
I suppose fueling is so important. So we'd leave bottles of water along the way. And my partner would run a lot of it with me, like as well, which was fantastic. And like I take a gel then every 7 kilometers. I don't know why seven, but because I
That's
think
your
you need to
thing.
train your stomach as well as training your mind and your body. I think your
Yeah.
stomach is a huge thing to train as well, you know. And it worked for me. Like it no, it took me a while to get used to gels. And after a while, you kind of have to kind of get, they are going to make you feel a little bit sick at the start, but you do need them. It's so important. And then for the marathons, then that's what I did as well. Every 7 kilometers, I took a gel. And I just small bottle Lucasade with me and took loads of water. Stop at every Someone said to me as well before, stop at every water station. Make sure you take on water, even if it's just to pour it over yourself. Because I find sometimes you see people worried about stopping at the water station for like a second or two, just in case of time. But that wouldn't bother me. I'd be like, making sure that I took water in as well.
And what gels did you use? Do you use the
I
same brand?
use the Aquagel ones. There's water in there as well.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
berries, yeah, they're perfect. Yeah, yeah. I've tried other ones, but I've always gone back to them. So they're
But
fantastic.
but that's the thing. And
Mm.
like you said, it's training your gut. It's then sticking to what you know.
Mm.
Like, 'cause I hear so many people that go, "Oh, I tried the precision," but then on the day itself, I tried the high fives, and you're going,
Mm. Yeah,
it's just a
yeah,
recipe for disaster. So, yeah, I would
totally.
be every 30 minutes, but it's you do whatever
Yeah,
you're used to.
yeah. I felt like 7 was my lucky number. I just went with that. But then on a hotter day like today, now I took one way earlier. You know,
Yeah,
do you know when it's hotter, you need to take on more. I feel anyway. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
stomach it. So otherwise you lose your electric. Like I take loads of diurolite coming up to race day as well, which is very important, and drinking loads of water and very good for water. And I suppose food prep is a huge thing, and I know it's hard. It's easier said than done, but it makes such a difference. Like
yeah,
if you're prepping your food, going to work, and things like that. Like I'd have overnight oats every morning. Do you know what I mean? It's fantastic fuel,
yeah.
and I'd have them on race day then as well. Just in the morning, just before I go.
And would you do
And
carb
bananas are
loading?
always great.
And would you
Huh?
carb load before?
Not so much because I just feel sick. I'd make myself sick. Like the day before, when the lads in the club was saying to take those pancakes from Aldi, they're
Yeah,
fantastic for carbs. And he's right. He was right. They are very good. But other than that, I wouldn't be loading up on pasta and things like that because I'd only feel sick and full. So I wouldn't change my diet too much. But I'd be good anyway. I'd be,
yeah, yeah. But then
so,
then you're taking the electrolytes, you're taking on water, you're
yeah,
fueling, right?
yeah. It's such
It's
a difference. Size.
Yeah, and you do what's good for you, and you do what,
Yeah,
and as long
yeah,
as you're doing it consistently, it's all about the training is consistent, the gels is consistent, and
yeah.
then it should, and you've never had any hitting the wall situation then.
Yeah, I definitely have.
Oh, have you?
I think everyone experiences that, don't they? It's
Yeah, I
even if,
sometimes wonder whether I'm always saying this, but whether it's because everyone says you're going to do it, so then when that time of the race comes
yeah,
about, you get this
yeah,
mental fuzz, and then you go, "Sugar, is this me hitting the wall?" And I
yeah,
don't know. In Cork, everyone says, "You get to the Silver Key, and then you're gonna hit the wall," and then sure as anything, I got to was it the Silver Key? No, the Rendezvous,
yeah.
sorry. If I
I know.
if I was in the
It's so
Silver.
funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I found that Belfast. If you ever want to do a marathon, do Belfast. It's fantastic. The atmosphere was amazing.
Better than
Just the
Dublin.
whole Yeah, yeah, yeah. They literally close down the city, and then you go through like the Irish side and the English side, and like there's so much support in Belfast, and there's support all along the way. Like Dublin is amazing as well. Don't get me wrong, fantastic support. But I found Belfast just people were just so excited for you, and they were just amazing. Like, but I had looked up the course so much. I think that's very important as well to look up the course. But I remember one of the lads in the club, Kieran, had done Belfast the year previously, and he said to me, "There's a big hill at 28k, right?" And he said, "If you get over that, there's a downhill for at least 4 or 5 miles, and you'll be fine because you're nearly there then." And I remember him saying that, and I was like, yeah, he's right. Like, so I got to like 27, 28K, and people were walking around me, and I was like, don't look at them. And I started to feel like, oh God, is this what the wall? I'm hitting the wall here a little bit. It's like, just get up this hill now, because people laugh at me at the club. I love hills. It's my thing. I just I love hills.
Up or
So
down?
up.
Okay.
So I'd say it's because of my Watergrass Hill,
Yeah, yeah,
So I got to 28K, and I was like, just remember there's a big downhill after this. And I did. And I feel like I got over the wall then. And I think that's why it went so well for me afterwards, because I feel like I hit the wall, but I got over it. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's important that your body can do it. It's your mind sometimes, isn't it?
yeah. And what about
Yeah.
shoe rotation? Do you practice that, or have you got a shoe addiction like some of us have?
Um. So I just use my Vaporflies for race day, and I have an old pair then I use for training. You know.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you're not like Ian O'Brien from Eagles that has about 45 shoes on the go at this. He's
No, 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 no. But yeah, they're so expensive, aren't they?
well, yeah, but vintage seems to be taking over at the moment. People are getting shoes for half the price
I
on
think
vintage.
that.
But you do
Yeah.
wear carbon plates then
Yeah,
for,
I do. I do. I do.
and you
Yeah.
find they help.
They do. They're fantastic. They're fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. They do help. Like they do. They feel so light and everything like that. So yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
So shoes do make a difference
Well,
hugely.
I just think anything that gives you an advantage, you got to
Yeah.
take it
Yeah.
because I think there's too much. Yeah, there's too much going against us, and particularly when you're running for that long, for that length of time, no matter what the weather is. If you've got your fuel sorted, you've got your training sorted, and the shoes will
Yeah.
give you 3%, well, that'll do. Take that as well.
de- Definitely. Definitely.
And have you
Yeah.
got any plans for the rest of the year?
I'll probably do Charleville. Yeah, I like Charleville. It's a great race, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm
Um,
definitely doing Charleville. I
are
didn't
you?
do
Is there
y'all.
Dublin?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'll definitely
Yeah.
do that.
It's
Yeah.
a really good prep for Dublin, isn't it?
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think, and I was slightly injured last year, slightly, just had a slight niggle. So I didn't enjoy it as much as I should have. So I'm looking forward to this year now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah. And then do you
Yeah.
have, have the club got you, is that an end of year trip to Malaga or is it a New Year trip?
We're not doing it this year now because it's in November this year, because Malaga is in November, and there's a few people doing Dublin and New York. There's a few people doing New York, so we probably won't make it this year. But it is a fantastic trip if anyone gets to go. It's such a nice half marathon. So like normally there's about 10 of us going, and it's just fantastic.
And
Um,
you're involved in a kind of an executive position for the club. Are you PRO or something?
oh,
Or
like I handed over the reins this year, but I did it for 2 years. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh, did
I
you?
had great
Okay.
fun doing it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I was doing all the reels and everything like that. So yeah, it's busy though. It's busy.
Does it take up a lot of time? It does.
It does take up a bit of time now, I must say.
And if people did want to join the club, what would they do?
Oh my God. All they have to do is email us, and we do speed sessions down in Little Island on a Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, and everyone's welcome. So even there was a girl from work there that joined us there the other day. She was asking me, how do I get better at running? Because everyone at work knows I run, because the way runners tell each other everything.
Yeah.
The way runners tell everybody that they run. So she was, and I was like, come away down to the speed session, and she loved it, and she's part of the club now. So if she was messaged, come down to the speed session, try it out. And Tom is the coach. He's great. So he'll always make out a plan for us every week, and it's different every week, and he makes it so much fun. That like this, there's so many of us, and like it stemmed from talking to Tom at a park run, going, "Oh, I'd love to do a few speed sessions." And I was like, I find them very hard on my own. And he's like, do you know what? I'll set up a group, see if we can get a few people to go. And he did, and it was fantastic, fantastic.
And you
Um,
don't have to be from Watergrass Hill to
oh,
join
not at
Watergrass Hill.
all, not at all. No, no. So like anybody can join. It's such a nice club. Everyone's so friendly, and we make great friends.
That's the
So
thing,
I
isn't
would,
it? Because
yeah,
I even find that, like I've said on numerous times on the podcast, that you're not just joining a club because there's a community within all the clubs, really, and there isn't a huge amount of
yeah,
rivalry that I've come across anyway, and everyone gets on, and it,
yeah.
it definitely benefits your running to be part of a club, and it's
Huge, huge.
easy to
Yeah.
join.
It's so easy to join, and if anyone's on the fence about it, just join and just go with it and see how you get on. You know, you don't have to be fast. That's the whole point of it. And like you'll end up like I love running so much. It's mentally for me, you know, like you could be having the worst day ever, and if you go out for a run, you just feel so much better in yourself. And I always think you'll never regret going for a run. Do you know what I mean? You might
Yeah,
regret not going for a run, but you'll never regret actually going for a run. Like I go before work and everything at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's fantastic, and it's just your headspace and everything is just amazing. So like, yeah, yeah, I could do a 10K before work. It's lovely, like, and then you have your run done for the day and you feel great.
you do, and I
Yeah,
think like my sister was asking me once about it, and I said to her like, on the days I don't do something, I feel my age, but on the days I do
yeah,
something, I feel
yeah.
about 10, 20
It's so
years
funny, isn't
younger. You
it?
know? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you could be saying to yourself, "Oh, I've loads to do around the house." There's always something to do. Do you know what? I just think you need to go out for a run. It's so good, and you'll miss it. Like sometimes my daughter hands me my running shoes and like, "Mom, you need to go for a run today. You haven't been all day."
Is that because she wants to get on
Yeah,
on the phone? Mom's gone for a run.
and she knows that I'm in better form when I come back. You know,
Yeah, well, for sure, we all are, I think. It
it's
makes a
amazing,
huge
isn't
difference.
it?
Yeah.
Huge difference.
And I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to go into it's a heavier topic, but the amount of people that talk about the mental health benefits of it,
Oh, yeah.
how they feel
Yeah.
so much better, it for sure.
Yeah.
And if you're running with people, the amount of
Mhm.
sharing and caring and talking and,
Yeah.
that goes on is amazing, like.
Yeah. And I suppose for me it's the support as well, you know, that people give like one, for example, another day there I was doing a long run and Una, you know Una, she's
Yeah,
lovely
yeah.
up there. She met me and she was training for a marathon and she's like, I'll run with you, and sure I'd be way slower than Una. And I was like, Una, I'm really slow, and she's like, oh, it's fine. But like she ran the whole way with me, like it was lovely support, you know. It's
Mm,
just it's part of being a club, and it's so lovely, like this, everybody's lovely and kind and supportive, and that would be huge for me, you know. And like I suppose when you don't go out much, I wouldn't go out drinking much, or do you know, like it's such a social scene. And even today now we got to meet, like, you know, the girls in college, I meet her all the time, Rose. So like I meet her like at most of the races. I'm like, oh, I'll see Rose now again, you know, or do you know what I mean? You just get to see everyone. It's so fun, you know, so social. It's
yeah,
brilliant.
it's brilliant.
Yeah, we're so lucky, aren't we? Really.
That is absolutely right.
Mm.
It's just one of those things that I couldn't believe that
Yeah.
I didn't expect that in the running community. You know, obviously, I went to park runs, had the social element. That was great. Joining a running club just
Yeah.
broadened everything so much more. And
Yeah.
the amount of people that I've met, even and then through the podcast, people that you met, and everyone is so supportive. It's
Yeah.
just amazing.
But even if you're thinking about joining a club and you don't know who to join, like you can ask people at a park run. Like for example, Faye came up to me at a park run and she's like, "I see you running all the time. I'd love to join a club." And Faye is one of our club members and Owen's wife,
Yeah,
and she joined her club, and Owen joined then as well, and it was fantastic, you know.
yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
just have to get and do it. Listen, I can't
yeah.
believe the time is up.
Oh
We're
my god, that
It's
was great
always the
fun. It
case. And I just have
was
to
so
say,
nice talking to you.
yeah, it's been a pleasure having you on. You've got
Yeah.
such a positive attitude. It's brilliant.
Oh, that's lovely.
And always after races or before races, every time I see you, you have a positive attitude, and it's just
Yeah.
brilliant. Brilliant to
Oh,
know
that's
you and
nice.
brilliant to have you on. So
Oh,
thank you
yeah,
very much.
fantastic. I thank you so much for having me on. I love the show, and I feel really privileged to be on. So they're really
Brilliant.
kind. Yeah,
Thank
yeah. I
you.
feel like a real runner now. Thanks.
And that was Maeve O'Hagan, our guest on the Middle of the Pack podcast, episode 54. And what a great episode. Great laugh we had. And I'm really glad that she came on, even though she said she might feel privileged. It's always a privilege to have any guest on the show, and Maeve certainly lived up to that expectation. You can follow the podcast at the Middle of the Pack podcast on Instagram and TikTok. And every week, every Wednesday, we launch a new show, whether it's with a guest or we're having a show on a topic. You know where you can follow us. And I do hope you enjoyed this week. So, as always, on the Middle of the Pack podcast, for this week, Thanks for listening and keep on running.